They told you to eat more vegetables. But what if I told you one of the vegetables sitting in your fridge right now, the one you've always believed was healthy, could actually be the silent reason your energy is crashing, your confidence is dropping, and your manhood isn't what it used to be? This isn't about age, it's about misinformation. And today we're setting the record straight. Here's something most men never hear. The most powerful medicine isn't in a pill. It's already on your plate. If you're tired of feeling tired, if you're ready to fight back against fatigue, low testosterone, and poor circulation, then listen closely. Because in the next few minutes, you'll discover 6 vegetables that can completely transform your blood flow, your stamina, and your sense of self. All backed by science and stories from real men just like you. But hold on before we dive in. Tap that subscribe button and turn on notifications. If you care about your health, this channel is your new home. And hey, if you're watching this right now, type 1 in the comments if you're in. Type 0 if you're still skeptical. Either way, your voice matters here. Beets. The moment you slice into one, its deep red color tells you there's something powerful inside. But what most people don't know is that this humble root vegetable is one of the most potent natural boosters of circulation ever discovered. Now you might be thinking, really, beets? Yes. And here's why. Beets are packed with dietary nitrates. And when you eat them, those nitrates are converted by your body into nitric oxide. Why does that matter? Because nitric oxide is the key that unlocks your blood vessels, helping them relax, widen, and carry more oxygen-rich blood to every corner of your body. That means better blood flow to your brain, sharper focus, faster thinking. It means stronger circulation to your muscles, more stamina, better recovery. But for men especially, it also means better blood flow where it really counts. Yes, in the bedroom. Over time, as we age, nitric oxide levels naturally decline. That's one reason older adults often feel slower, weaker, and more tired. But beets can help reverse that. And don't just take my word for it. Studies from major universities have shown that drinking beetroot juice can lower blood pressure, improve endurance, and even support better sexual performance, naturally without medications. One small study out of the UK found that just 2 cups of beet juice a day helped older adults walk longer distances without feeling winded. That's real measurable impact. But there's something else about beets that makes them special. They contain a group of powerful antioxidants called betalains. These compounds help fight inflammation, which is the root cause of many problems men face: joint pain, fatigue, brain fog, and yes, even trouble in the bedroom. Beets also support liver health, which means your body can flush out toxins more efficiently, helping your hormones stay balanced and your metabolism working smoothly. And the best part, you don't have to eat them raw. You can roast them, steam them, juice them, even mix them into smoothies. Or try beetroot powder if you're looking for something quick and easy. Now I know what you might be thinking, but I've never liked beets. That's okay. You don't need to eat a mountain of them. Just a few servings a week can make a real difference. So the next time you're reaching for a snack or prepping your meals, think about adding some beets to your plate, because every bite is helping your blood flow better, your energy stay stronger, and your confidence come back to life. Up next, we'll look at a vegetable that's in almost every salad, but it could be making your prostate swell and your testosterone crash. Stay with me. Spinach. It's praised as a superfood, loaded with iron, and packed into countless salads and smoothies. But if you're a man over 60, there's something you need to know. Because this leafy green, as healthy as it looks, might not be the hero you think it is. Let me explain. Spinach is rich in oxalates. These natural compounds bind to calcium in your body. And when they do, they can create tiny crystal-like structures that your kidneys struggle to process. Over time, that can lead to kidney stones, painful ones. And for men, there's another twist. Spinach is also high in phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic the effects of estrogen in the body. Now, in small amounts, that's not a problem. But as we age, our testosterone naturally declines. And when you add more estrogen-like compounds into the mix, you're throwing off a delicate hormonal balance. The result: lower libido, erectile problems, loss of muscle mass, and even mood swings or irritability. And here's the thing you may not even realize: spinach is playing a role, because it's hidden in so many health foods. Green juices, frozen veggie blends, protein powders, even healthy meal prep services often include spinach in almost every dish. To be clear, I'm not saying spinach is bad for everyone. But for older men trying to reclaim vitality, it might be worth limiting how much you're getting, especially if you already deal with fatigue, low testosterone, or prostate issues. And let's talk about the prostate for a second. Spinach's oxalates may also contribute to inflammation in the urinary tract. For men over 60 who already have an enlarged prostate or slower urinary flow, that extra irritation can lead to more frequent bathroom trips, less restful sleep, and even a greater risk of infections. So what's the solution? You don't have to ditch greens altogether. Try switching to arugula or watercress. They're packed with flavor lower in oxalates and won't mess with your hormones. Or add in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli or Brussels sprouts. They contain compounds that actually help balance estrogen and support testosterone. Here's the bottom line. Just because a food is labeled healthy doesn't mean it's right for your body, especially as you get older. What your body needs at 30 is not the same as what it needs at 60 or 70. So the next time you toss together a salad, think twice about loading it up with spinach. Your hormones, kidneys, and energy levels might just thank you. Now, get ready because the next vegetable is even more surprising. It's one you've probably eaten your entire life, but it could be draining your energy, raising your blood pressure, and quietly inflaming your heart. Corn. It's been called a staple of the American diet: buttery, on the cob, popped for movie night, or ground into tortillas. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one likes to admit. Corn is not the harmless vegetable it's made out to be, especially if you're over 60. Let's start with the basics. Corn is incredibly high in starch, which means when you eat it, your body breaks it down almost instantly into glucose sugar. This causes your blood sugar to spike, then crash. And if you're insulin resistant, which many older adults are even without knowing it, corn can send your metabolism into chaos. But that's just the beginning. Most corn in the US, around 90%, is genetically modified and heavily sprayed with herbicides like glyphosate. Why does that matter? Because those chemicals don't just stay on the farm, they stay in the corn you eat. And research is starting to show that glyphosate can disrupt gut health, impair liver function, and even affect hormones. Now imagine eating that year after year. It's no wonder inflammation and fatigue become so common with age. And here's another shocker. Corn is in everything. Corn syrup, corn oil, corn starch. It's used to thicken, sweeten, and stretch foods from soda to bread, to even your healthy granola bars. And each time you eat it, your body is quietly absorbing more sugar, more chemicals, and more fuel for inflammation. But for older men, the concern goes deeper. Corn oil, often used in frying and baking, is extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. When these are out of balance with omega-3s, which most Americans are, it sets the stage for chronic inflammation. which can damage arteries, worsen joint pain, cloud your memory, and even raise your risk of prostate problems. Think about that. A vegetable we were told is safe, even essential, might be silently sabotaging your energy, your memory, and your heart. Now, I'm not saying you can never eat corn again, but if you're over 60 and you want more strength, sharper focus, and better blood pressure, it's time to look at alternatives. Swap corn oil for extra virgin olive oil. Reach for leafy greens instead of cornbread. And when it comes to snacks, ditch the popcorn and try air-dried veggie chips or nuts instead. Remember, the foods you ate growing up may not be the ones that serve you now. Your body's changed. So should your plate. Coming up next is a vegetable most people eat to stay regular, but for older men it could be doing more harm than good. Shall I keep going? Bran cereal, whole wheat toast, a bowl of steamed broccoli, all marketed as great sources of fiber, and yes, fiber is essential. But when it comes to broccoli, you might want to slow down. Here's why this healthy cruciferous vegetable can turn into a real problem for older men, especially when eaten daily. First, let's talk digestion. Broccoli is packed with insoluble fiber. That's the type your body doesn't break down. It passes through your gut almost unchanged. Now, for some, that helps with bowel movements. But for others, especially seniors with slower digestion or sensitive guts, it leads to gas bloating and that uncomfortable brick in your stomach feeling. And if you already deal with acid reflux or indigestion, broccoli can make it worse. But it gets more complicated. Broccoli also contains compounds called goitrogens. These can interfere with your thyroid's ability to absorb iodine, which over time may disrupt hormone production and slow your metabolism. Not ideal if you're already battling fatigue, weight gain, or cold sensitivity. And here's the part no one talks about. Broccoli can be a trigger for prostate inflammation in some older men, especially when eaten raw or in large amounts. That's because it stimulates sulfur-loving bacteria in the gut, and when those bacteria overgrow, they produce hydrogen sulfide, a gas that may worsen inflammation in the prostate and lower digestive tract. Now, don't get me wrong. Broccoli does have some powerful benefits, like sulforaphane, which can help fight cancer. But it's all about the how much and how often. If you're eating broccoli every day, or combining it with other cruciferous veggies like cabbage or kale, you might be flooding your system with too much sulfur, too much fiber, and too many goitrogens, all at once. So what's the better move? Cook your broccoli. Lightly steaming it reduces goitrogens and makes it easier on the stomach. Limit it to a few times a week instead of daily. And balance it with other fiber sources like zucchini carrots or berries, which are gentler on aging digestion. And if you're already dealing with gut issues, low energy, or hormonal imbalances, you may want to skip it entirely for a while and see how your body responds. Because at this stage of life, it's not just about what's healthy, it's about what's healthy for you. Coming up next, we're flipping the script. I'll reveal a vegetable that most men aren't eating enough of, but it could be the key to smoother blood flow, stronger erections, and better heart health. Beets. That's the vegetable. Humble, earthy, maybe not the star of your dinner plate, but it should be. Because for older adults, especially men over 60, beets are nothing short of a circulation supercharger. Let's break it down. Beets are one of nature's richest sources of dietary nitrates. Now, when you eat them, those nitrates convert into nitric oxide inside your body. And nitric oxide. That's the compound responsible for relaxing and widening your blood vessels. It helps your blood flow more easily, meaning more oxygen, more nutrients, and better function throughout your entire system. Think about what that means. Improved circulation supports your heart. It helps lower blood pressure naturally. It delivers more oxygen to your brain, which may explain why beets are being studied for their role in boosting memory and mental clarity in seniors. And yes, better circulation also means better performance, where it matters most in the bedroom. In fact, several studies have shown that older adults who consume beet juice regularly see improvements in endurance, stamina, and blood flow. And we're not talking about hours in the gym. Just walking becomes easier. Breathing feels smoother. Energy comes back. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Beets are also loaded with betalains, powerful antioxidants, with anti-inflammatory properties. That means they don't just help you move blood more efficiently, they protect the blood vessels themselves. They soothe inflammation that could otherwise clog up your system. And they help your liver function more efficiently, aiding in detox and hormone balance. But wait, aren't beets high in sugar? Yes, they are naturally sweet. But don't confuse that with a blood sugar spike. Beets have a low glycemic load, especially when eaten whole rather than juiced. That means they release their sugars slowly, and their fiber helps balance it out. The key here is how you eat them. Roast them. Shred them raw into a salad. Blend them into a smoothie with greens and a little citrus. Even a small serving a few times a week can begin to improve your vascular health. Just make sure you're not canceling out the benefits by drowning them in sugary glazes or frying them. And a little heads up, if you notice your urine or stool turning pink after eating beets, don't panic. That's called beeturia, and it's totally harmless. So if you've been feeling sluggish, foggy, or just not as sharp and vital as you once were, add beets to your weekly lineup. You might be surprised how quickly your body responds. Coming up next, we'll talk about another surprising veggie. This one's even more powerful for lowering inflammation and protecting aging muscles. Shall we keep going? If you're over 60, this next vegetable might just be your body's secret weapon. Not only does it reduce inflammation, it helps fight the very root of chronic pain, fatigue, and even aging itself. We're talking about broccoli. Yes, plain old broccoli. But don't underestimate it. This cruciferous powerhouse is one of the most potent anti-inflammatory vegetables on the planet. Here's why it matters. As we age, inflammation becomes the silent force behind so many issues: joint pain, brain fog, heart problems, and even weakened immunity. And while medications can help, they often come with side effects. Broccoli, on the other hand, delivers powerful relief, straight from nature, no prescription required. It contains a compound called sulforaphane. This little miracle has been shown in countless studies to block inflammatory pathways in the body. Think of it like turning off the faucet on chronic inflammation before it floods your system. But that's just the beginning. Sulforaphane also activates your body's own detox enzymes, helping to clean out harmful toxins and damaged cells that build up over time. It's like hitting the reset button for your liver, your gut, and your brain. And speaking of the brain, did you know broccoli may help protect against cognitive decline? Some studies suggest that seniors who regularly eat cruciferous vegetables show slower rates of memory loss and sharper thinking. Why? Because broccoli doesn't just calm inflammation in the body, it cools it in the brain too. Plus, it's packed with vitamin K, which supports bone health, vitamin C, which strengthens your immune system, and fiber, which keeps your gut moving and your blood sugar stable. Now here's something many people don't realize. The way you cook broccoli can make a big difference. Overcooking, especially boiling, can destroy sulforaphane. The best method: light steaming. It keeps the crunch, preserves the nutrients, and brings out that natural, slightly sweet flavor. And if you want an extra boost, try adding a little mustard powder or raw mustard greens on the side. They contain enzymes that help your body absorb sulforaphane even better. Worried you won't enjoy the taste? Roast it with a drizzle of olive oil. Toss it with garlic and lemon. Add it to soups, omelets, stir-fries, or pair it with a healthy dip like hummus or avocado spread. Broccoli doesn't have to be boring. You just have to get creative. So if your joints feel stiff, if your body feels like it's fighting something every day, if you want to protect your heart, brain, and bones, make broccoli a staple. It's not just a side dish. It's a signal to your body that healing has begun. And now, are you ready for the next vegetable to add to your list? It's surprisingly sweet, incredibly versatile, and might just be the best-kept secret for balancing blood sugar naturally. If you've ever struggled with blood sugar spikes, cravings that won't quit, or energy that crashes midday, then this next vegetable could be the key to regaining control. Introducing sweet potatoes, the blood sugar guardian. Now I know what you might be thinking. Sweet and blood sugar don't usually go hand in hand. But here's the truth. Sweet potatoes are nothing like white potatoes. They're a whole different powerhouse when it comes to nutrition and blood sugar balance. Sweet potatoes are rich in complex carbohydrates, the kind your body digests slowly. That means they release energy steadily without the sudden spikes and crashes caused by processed carbs. It keeps your insulin levels stable, which is critical after 60 when blood sugar control becomes harder and more important. But the real magic is in the fiber. Just one medium sweet potato can contain up to 4 grams of fiber, both soluble and insoluble. This helps slow down digestion, keeps you full longer, and gives your gut the fuel it needs to thrive. And when your gut is healthy, your entire body follows. Sweet potatoes also contain a powerful antioxidant called beta-carotene, the same compound that gives them that rich orange color. Inside your body, beta-carotene converts to vitamin A, which supports your immune system, your vision, and even your skin. It's one of nature's built-in repair tools. Now, here's something most people miss. Sweet potatoes are rich in magnesium and potassium. These two minerals help improve insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells can better absorb glucose and use it for energy. That's why sweet potatoes don't just avoid blood sugar problems, they help solve them from the inside out. The best part? They're incredibly versatile and delicious. You can bake them whole and enjoy the soft, sweet flesh. Roast them in wedges with rosemary and olive oil. Mash them with cinnamon and a touch of nutmeg for a warm, comforting side. Even slice them into rounds and toast them for a grain-free toast you can top with avocado eggs or almond butter. Just be sure to skip the marshmallows and brown sugar. You don't need those extra sweeteners. Sweet potatoes are naturally satisfying on their own. And here's a tip: eat the skin whenever possible. That's where a big portion of the fiber lives, along with antioxidants and other trace minerals. Just scrub them well before cooking, and you're good to go. If you're someone who's watching your A1C, if you're trying to prevent or manage type 2 diabetes, or if you just want more steady, reliable energy throughout the day, sweet potatoes might be the gentle, grounding food your body's been asking for. They nourish your blood sugar, they strengthen your gut, and they help keep your cravings and your mood in balance. Coming up next, there's one more vegetable that works quietly behind the scenes to improve your sleep, calm your nerves, and strengthen your heart. If there's one vegetable that deserves a spot on your plate after 60, especially if you value deep sleep, a calm nervous system, and steady heart health. It's this humble root you may already have in your kitchen. Say hello to beets, the restorative root. At first glance, they don't look like much. Dark, earthy, maybe even a little intimidating to prepare. But under that rugged surface lies one of the most healing vegetables you can eat. Let's start with circulation. Beets are one of the richest sources of natural nitrates in the plant world. Now, don't confuse that with the artificial nitrates found in processed meats. Natural nitrates from beets help your body produce nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes your blood vessels and improves blood flow. For older adults, that means lower blood pressure, better oxygen delivery to your brain and muscles, and yes, even enhanced intimacy. That's right. Better circulation leads to better performance in every part of your life. But that's not all. Beets are also packed with folate, a B vitamin that plays a critical role in heart health, brain function, and even mood regulation. Studies show that folate can reduce the risk of stroke and age-related cognitive decline, especially when paired with other B vitamins like B6 and B12. And if you've ever struggled with inflammation, beets have a secret weapon called betalains, antioxidant pigments, that give them their deep red color. These compounds help reduce oxidative stress, support detoxification in the liver, and soothe chronic inflammation throughout the body. What about sleep? Beets contain magnesium, a mineral known for calming the nervous system and helping your muscles relax. It supports deeper, more restful sleep, the kind your body needs to repair, restore, and recharge. Even your digestion benefits. Beets are high in fiber, which helps keep your bowels regular and supports a healthy gut microbiome. And a healthy gut, as we now know, is directly linked to immune strength, mood stability, and even longevity. Now let's talk about how to enjoy them. Beets can be roasted until tender and sweet. They can be grated raw into salads for a fresh crunch. They blend beautifully into smoothies with berries and greens. And beet juice. It's one of the most effective pre-workout drinks for older adults, supporting endurance and stamina naturally. One tip though, beet juice is powerful. Start small and always pair it with other whole foods to avoid sudden blood sugar shifts. And yes, they might turn your urine or stool pink. Don't worry, that's completely normal and harmless. It's just your body processing the vibrant pigments, doing their job inside you. So if you've been feeling foggy, sluggish, or just not quite yourself, if you want to support your heart, your brain, your sleep, and your sense of vitality, beets might be the restorative root that helps bring you back into balance. Up next, we'll tie it all together. Let's take everything you've learned and show you how these food choices can either quietly drain your energy or become your most powerful medicine. What if everything you believed about healthy eating after 60 wasn't entirely true? What if the vegetables you've been told to trust, the ones sitting in your fridge right now, were quietly draining your energy, inflaming your body, and disrupting your hormones? Not because you're getting older, but because your body is simply reacting to the wrong foods. This is the final awakening, the moment where knowledge turns into power, and power becomes transformation. You've now seen both sides of the plate. The vegetables that inflame your prostate, raise your blood pressure, stiffen your arteries, and blur your memory. And the vegetables that ignite circulation, calm inflammation, balance your blood sugar, and help you sleep like you did 30 years ago. You've learned that not all vegetables are created equal, that even the healthy ones can contain compounds that throw your hormones out of balance or trigger dangerous silent inflammation. And you've seen how the right vegetables, just 4 of them, can act like natural medicine. No prescriptions, no side effects, just the healing wisdom of nature working in sync with your biology. But here's the truth. Knowing this isn't enough. Awareness is just the first step. The real transformation happens when you act, when you open your fridge and make the conscious decision to choose what gives life over what slowly steals it. When you take back control of your plate, your hormones, your heart, and your future. Because every meal is a crossroads, a choice between what harms you and what heals you. Between the decline you've been told to accept and the vitality you still have time to reclaim. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, it's not too late. In fact, it's the perfect time. Your body is still listening. Your cells are still responding. Your story isn't finished, not even close. So let this be your wake-up call. Let this be the moment you say, I'm not settling for fatigue. I'm not surrendering to brain fog, high blood pressure, or fading intimacy. Not when the answer has been growing in the ground this whole time. Because the final awakening isn't just about vegetables. It's about realizing that you are not powerless. You never were. With every bite, every choice, every day, you can nourish a stronger, sharper, more energized version of yourself. And you deserve that version. Right now. Not someday. Not after the next doctor's visit. But today. So choose wisely. Eat like your future depends on it. Because it does. So now you know. The truth about the vegetables to avoid, and the power of the ones you should welcome onto your plate, starting today. But knowledge means nothing if it just sits in your mind. What matters is what you do with it. The choices you make at your next meal. The habits you build in the weeks ahead, and the commitment you make to your health, your energy, and your future. If you found even one idea today that made you stop and think, if something clicked for you deep down, like, wait, I needed to hear this, then don't keep it to yourself. Comment below and type, I'm in, if you're ready to make better choices from this moment forward. Or type, still learning, if you've got questions or want support. We read every single comment, and this community is built on your voice. And hey, if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because this is just the beginning. On this channel, we uncover the hidden truths about aging vitality and food that nobody else is talking about. Stick with us because the next video might just change your life. And you deserve to feel strong, sharp, and full of life at any age.